Level 1. A normal day. Your story begins on a completely normal day. You wake up in a small apartment in a crowded city. The kind of place where the buildings are old, the streets are always noisy, and most people work long hours just to keep their lives together. Outside your window, the day has already begun. Cars honk in the distance, buses rumble down the street, and people rush past each other with the same tired expressions they wear every morning. You are not rich. You are not powerful. You are just another person trying to survive in a city that never seems to slow down. Maybe you have a regular job, something ordinary that barely pays enough to cover rent and food. Maybe you run small hustles on the side. Nothing huge, nothing illegal enough to attract real attention, just small things that help you get through the month. But there is something different about you. You notice details that other people ignore. When two people talk, you can read their expressions and understand what they really want. When someone lies, you can see it immediately. And when problems appear, you have a strange ability to calm situations before they become dangerous. One afternoon, that ability becomes obvious. You are standing outside a small bar when two men start arguing nearby. At first, it looks like a normal disagreement about money, but the voices grow louder. One of them pushes the other. People begin stepping away from the scene. The tension builds quickly. One man reaches into his jacket as if he might grab something. Everyone nearby starts backing away, but instead of leaving, you step forward. You speak calmly. You ask a few questions. Within minutes, you figure out what the problem actually is. The argument was never really about money. It was about pride. You talk to both men. You give them a way to leave the situation without losing face. Slowly, the tension disappears. The argument ends. No fight, no police, no chaos. The two men walk away. Most people forget the moment immediately, but someone else saw everything. Across the street, a man in a dark suit sits quietly at an outdoor table. He has been watching the entire situation, not with fear or curiosity, but with interest. He noticed how quickly you understood the problem. He noticed how easily you controlled the situation. And in his world, that kind of talent is extremely valuable. You do not know it yet, but that moment just changed the direction of your life. Level 2. The recruitment. A few days later, the same man approaches you. He greets you politely, as if the two of you are already familiar with each other. His voice is calm, his confidence is obvious. He reminds you about the situation outside the bar. He says he was impressed. Then he tells you something interesting. There are people in this city who always need individuals with good instincts. People who can solve problems without creating unnecessary attention. He does not mention any organization directly, but you understand what he means. Everyone in the city has heard stories about the powerful criminal group that operates in the shadows, the group that controls businesses, clubs, and entire neighborhoods. The man tells you there is work available. Simple tasks at first, nothing complicated. Nothing dangerous, at least not immediately. The money, however, is far better than anything you are earning now. You hesitate for a moment. You know accepting this offer means stepping into a different world. But curiosity wins. You agree to try. Your first job is simple. Deliver an envelope to a restaurant owner across town. No questions. Just deliver the envelope and leave. The next job is just as simple. Pick up a package from a nightclub and bring it to another location. Then another task. Watch a small store for an hour and report who comes and goes. These jobs feel strange but easy. More importantly, the payments arrive quickly, and they are generous. Soon you learn the first real rule of this world. Loyalty is everything. The people you now work for operate on trust and silence. Nobody asks unnecessary questions. Nobody talks about business outside the organization, because when someone breaks that rule, they disappear. Level 3. Your first crimes. Weeks pass, and your responsibilities grow. The tasks become more serious. You are asked to collect debts from individuals who borrowed money but never paid it back. Some of them hand over the money immediately when they see you arrive. Others require a little persuasion. You start visiting business owners who suddenly agree to pay a monthly fee for something called protection. At first, these situations make you uncomfortable. You tell yourself that you are just delivering messages, that you are not the one creating the rules, but the money keeps coming, and it is far more than you ever earned before. Your life begins to change. You buy better clothes, you move into a nicer apartment, you start visiting places that used to feel far outside your world. Level 4. The money. As your reputation grows, you begin managing larger operations. Illegal gambling rooms hidden behind normal storefronts. Late-night card games where thousands of dollars change hands in minutes. Deliveries that arrive at warehouses under heavy secrecy. The money flowing through these operations is enormous, but with that money comes a second lesson. Dirty money cannot stay dirty forever. It must be cleaned. You watch as the organization turns illegal profits into legitimate investments. Restaurants open across the city. Construction companies win new contracts. Real estate purchases appear under different names. Suddenly, the same money that came from illegal operations begins circulating through normal businesses, and you become part of managing those transitions. For the first time in your life, you experience something powerful. Control, not just over money, but over situations, over people, over outcomes. Level 5, corrupting the system. But eventually you realize that money alone is not enough. To truly control a city, the organization must influence the system itself. And slowly you begin seeing how that influence works. A police officer ignores certain activities in specific neighborhoods. A building inspector decides not to look too closely at a construction project. A local politician suddenly receives generous support during an election. None of these events seem dramatic on their own, but together they create something powerful. Protection. You begin attending meetings where lawyers explain how to avoid investigations. Business leaders quietly agree to partnerships. Officials pretend they never noticed certain details. The deeper you move into this world, the more one truth becomes clear. The line between legal and illegal is not always obvious. Sometimes the difference is simply who holds the power, and with each passing year, your influence grows. Level 6, rising through the ranks. Your ability to manage operations does not go unnoticed. The leaders above you see that you handle pressure well, you solve problems quickly, you avoid unnecessary attention from authorities. Eventually, they give you your own team. Several members of the organization now report directly to you. You oversee businesses, financial movements, and territory. Money flows through your operations every day. Your reputation grows both inside and outside the organization. But with success comes competition. Other criminal families begin noticing the expansion of your territory. Neighborhoods once ignored suddenly become valuable. And when two powerful groups want the same territory, conflict begins. Level 7, Mafia War. At first, the tension is subtle. A shipment goes missing. A business connected to your organization is vandalized. Rumors begin spreading about another family planning to expand into your area. Meetings are held to negotiate. Conversations take place behind closed doors. But eventually the tension breaks. One of your associates is attacked. Another disappears entirely. Soon, retaliation begins. Cars are ambushed late at night. Businesses connected to your rivals mysteriously burn down. The city becomes a quiet battlefield. Most civilians never realize what is happening around them. But inside the criminal world, everyone feels the tension. You face the most difficult decision of your career. Back down and lose the empire you built. Or fight. You choose to fight. Months of strategy, intimidation, and ruthless decisions follow. Slowly, your rivals weaken. Their leaders vanish. Their operations collapse. When the conflict finally ends, your position is stronger than ever. Level 8, becoming the boss. Years later, the old boss begins stepping back from daily operations. Age slows him down. His decisions come less frequently. Inside the organization, people begin looking toward the future, and your name appears in more conversations than anyone else's. Eventually, the moment arrives. The old boss retires, disappears, or simply fades away from power. The details are never discussed openly, but the result is clear. You become the new boss. Now every major decision flows through you. Which businesses expand? Which territories remain protected? Which enemies must be eliminated? Your organization controls clubs, construction companies, warehouses, gambling operations, and more. For a while, it feels like you have reached the top of the world. But power at this level attracts attention. Not from local police, from something much bigger. Final level, the fall of the boss. For years, you believed the system protected you. Local officers ignored certain activities. Politicians benefited from your support. Business partners stayed silent. But there were people watching who did not belong to this city. Investigators from powerful federal and international agencies. Their entire mission is to dismantle organizations like yours. They move slowly, patiently, building cases that take years. Financial investigations, secret recordings, undercover agents, informants hidden deep inside criminal networks. At first you notice small problems, a shipment intercepted, a bank account frozen, a trusted associate suddenly arrested, But the investigation continues growing, until one morning everything collapses. Sirens outside your house, agents surrounding the building, doors forced open, commands shouted. After years of controlling the city, you stand there in silence as handcuffs close around your wrists. Your empire is finished. Final reflection. Was it worth it? Prison is quiet in a way the outside world never was. No meetings, no negotiations, no power, just time. Time to remember how everything began. That normal day, that small argument outside the bar, the first envelope you delivered, the first decision you made that led you deeper into this world. At every step, it felt like success. More money, more respect, more influence. But in the end, the story always moves toward the same destination. In the world of organized crime, there are only a few endings. Some bosses die in violent conflicts. Some are betrayed by the very people they trusted. And others end up exactly where you are now, sitting alone in a prison cell, watching the empire they built disappear. And now, after everything you did, there is only one question left. Was it worth it?